Hi guys, this is Leela. Welcome to my channel leelawebdev. Welcome to my new series React.js complete course. So in this series we will learn about the Redux Thunk, React query. So these are all the React.js and all those things. We'll try to complete it. So welcome to so from now onwards I will try to do the React.js also. So completing just like the Angular depth concepts and all those things I will try to complete it. So first let's see the concepts which we know earlier. So why? Because we already did the React.js complete course. So if you are not aware of that one, so you can take a look at that React.js complete course. So I will start here little bit fast regarding the props and all those things. I will complete it little bit fast. We'll try to learn some other concepts. So almost all the topics I have covered in the React.js. So here we will be covering React query. These all things we'll try to do it. So first let's recap what are the concepts that we have learned, and I will try to complete the videos also in those things which we haven't which we have did it here. So there is no need to worry if you doesn't know these all the concepts. I will try to do those. I will try to make those videos also. So first I will do a simple Ajax call, how we can do it and how we can bind it here. We'll try to see. So here this is our JSX file. So we'll try to see that JSX code also about this one all. So I am creating a new function. Okay. So get post. So this is our method. So we will be writing this like this only. So don't worry about this syntax thing and all those things. Don't worry about this one. We'll try to cover it. So function get post. I want to get the details. So I will be using the JSON placeholder. So for this one I will be using JSON placeholder dummy API. And here we will be having this API. So here I will try to get those details. Okay. And here I will use this one. So I will be using the await thing. So that is the reason I am using the async. So constant response is equal to await fetch of, and here I will paste the details like this. So here you will be having the details. Let's make it, yeah, and here also let's make it a little bit bigger, yeah. So this is our response, and here constant post is equal to, we can make it as singular, post is equal to await response dot JSON. So we got the response data. Now what I can say is, so here I can have constant post comma set post is equal to, we need to use the use state. So it should be imported from the React use state. So that should be imported from the React. So that is nothing but here at the bottom or top we can use it, import from React. Here we need to import it from the React, and I am using the use state here, use state. So let's say that we are, yeah, use state of, so for the time being I will keep the empty, and here I can write the data. So set post of that post data. So whatever the post details we are having it, I am posting it. So we got the get post details. So if you try to see this URL, what will we be having in this URL is, if you try to see here, we are able to see a title, right? So let's try to display the title. So in order to show the title, what we need to do is, so here I can write something like div, and here I can write the title like this, and here we need to use a single quotes, not the double braces. So in Vue.js and Angular we'll be using the double braces. Here we need to use a single braces, and here I can write the post.title. That's it. Now if you try to see here, we are not able to see the output. Why? Because we aren't calling this get post data. So we need to call the get post. For this one we need to use the use effect. So use effect. So use effect, these are the side effects, and on mounted I need to call. So on mounted means I need to keep an empty array here, and I will call the get post. That's it. So now if you try to see the output, here we are able to say get the details, right? So now this is how we will be doing the basic thing. So so I want to make this one as a dynamic. Let's try to make this as a dynamic. For making this dynamic, constant post ID is equal to math.random. I will try to make math.random into 10. I will make this one all. So this one is something like parseint. I will make it as a parseint. Oh, sorry, parseint. And here I will do it like this, and I will do +1. Okay. So this is our post ID, and I will copy this post ID, and here I will make it as post ID here. That's it. So now if you see the output for this one, so here we are able to get the data. Now what is the problem? Here we are getting JSON placeholder plus post ID. Oh, sorry, we have given the semicolon, right? It should not be semicolon. Yeah, here we are able to get it. So we need to get the random data, something like that. So we'll create a button here. Here I will create a div, and in this one I will create a button post details, or otherwise get post details. And for this button I will close this button, and in this button what I can do is on click. Okay, on click. So we need to use like this, on click, not brackets or at the rate, like that we should not use it. So here I can use something like get post. On click I need to call the get post. So now if I click on this one, so we will be able to see the post data, we are getting it changes. So randomly we are getting the math.random. So if you want to display the ID means, so here this is the ID, we can display the ID, whichever the ID we are getting it. So here I can display the ID, math.random we are using it, right? Div ID, I can use post.id. That's it. So let's close the div. So now ID is a 2, so this time ID 4. So like this we are able to get the details. So here this is how we will be doing the basic React.js thing. For example, let's say that how many times we are calling this API, we need to check it. So for that one what I can do is I can maintain a count, and I will write set count is equal to use state of 0. The first time it will be 0. So here I can write something like message count. So here I can write count. Oh sorry, inside I need to write the count, and I will close the div. Okay, so this is our thing. So if I click on this one count, I need to update this count value. So for that one what I can do, here I can do set count of c value is equal to c plus 1. So always I will try to update the count value with plus 1. So if you try to see here, the first time you are able to see the value is updated with count value 1. You will be able to see it here. Let's try to see. I am refreshing the page, and if you see the count is updated by 2. So that means 2 times it is calling. So why is this happening is, so we'll try to discuss about this one. So we are using the strict mode. Strict mode makes the component to be rendered twice. Now if you try to see here, so it will be called only once. See, so it is calling only once, and if I click on this one, so count is updated and we are able to call it. So like this the count is updating. So this is how we will be doing it. If you want to create a new component means, what I can do is, so here function I can use the counter, and here I can return the value div, and here I can use the count and I can show the count. Okay, so I will close the div. So this is the count I want to send it. So here this counter, this is a component, and I can use it directly here like this. So counter, like this I can use it. Now I need to pass the count value. So how can I pass the count values? The count value is present in this component, I need to send it to here. So here I can use the count is equal to count. So I am sending it the count, and here we need to catch it using the props. So props.count, you can write it as props.count. Now if you see the output, so now we are able to see the same output. If I click on the count here, I am able to update it. So this is achieved through the props thing. So this is the basic thing which I want to discuss you in the React.js. So the declaration of variables, the data variables which you will be seeing in the Vue.js or in the Angular, something like that. So we will be using the use state, and here we are calling we will be declaring the methods like this, function get post like that, and we will be getting the values, and here we will be returning the JSON, so not JSON, JSX value, HTML thing, and on click and all those things we'll be using it like this. We will call like this, and that's it. So the component creation, it will be like this, and we will passing the props data, we will be passing the props like this. So these are the basic things, fundamental things which we know about in the React.js. If you are new to the React.js means, no need to worry, we will discuss about these things one by one in the videos. So this is the basic thing which we know in the, if you follow my previous React.js courses. So these are things will be pretty much easy for you. So this is a basic fundamental thing which I want to start before proceeding it to further. These are the fundamental things which I want to discuss it. To my channel Leela WebDev. In this video we will learn about first introduction, that is what is React. So we'll try to learn about the meaning of this React and why we need to use this React and the definition of this React library. Let's try to see it. If you see in the React official documentation, if you try to observe carefully, you'll be able to see the definition as React is a JavaScript library for building user interfaces. So this is the definition which you will be able to see in the React official documentation. React is a JavaScript library for building user interfaces. So let's try to expand this definition a bit. So now you will be able to understand the definition is not that much of clear, right? So you'll try to understand the definition clearly. So I can say that React is an extremely popular, declarative, component-based, state-driven JavaScript library for building interfaces created by the Facebook. So this is the complete definition which I can say. If you try to observe carefully, I have used some popular terminologies or terms like extremely popular, declarative, component based, state driven and JavaScript library. So these are the terms I have used it. Let's try to analyze these parts one by one. Component based. First we'll try to see about the component based. So React is all based on the components only, like search, button and so on. So whatever the things list, everything, whichever the thing you are trying to develop in React is a component based approach. So components are the building block of user interfaces in React. So these components are the building blocks. We build complex UI by building and combining multiple components. So everything in the React is a component based. So we will combine all those multiple components and we will build the complex UI. Since we develop complex UI using components, each one must have all the information about what it looks like. We describe how components look like and how they work using a declarative syntax called as JSX. So this is the thing. So now the component which I am trying to tell. So if you are trying to develop the UI using components, each component must have all the information about how it looks like. So this how it looks like and all those things. So we will be using a declarative syntax called as in JSX. Declarative simple means telling React what a component should look like based on the current data or state. So we are telling to the React that how the component should look like based on the current state or data whichever you are having. So React is an abstraction away from the DOM. That means we never touch the DOM. So that is also one important thing. So by using React, we never touch the DOM. So we never have to work with DOM directly. JSX is simply a syntax that combines HTML, CSS, JavaScript as well as referencing the other React components also. So this is the syntax. JSX, we'll try to see about this JSX also. It is simply a syntax that combines the HTML, CSS, JavaScript and as well as sometimes referencing the other React components. Note if we if we never touch the DOM, okay, so now we have discussed, right? So if we never touch the DOM, then how React updates the UI? So that is a one question which you may be getting in your mind. That's where the concept of state comes into play. So here that the concept of state comes into play here only. Remember, the main goal of React is to keep the UI in sync with data and we can call the data as state. So whenever you are having a data, so it will try to keep the UI in sync with the data. So we can call the data sometimes as state also. Now onwards I will call this data as a state. So whenever the state changes, React reacts to the state changes by re-rendering the UI. So this is one of the important concepts you need to understand. Whenever the states or data changes, the React reacts to the state changes by re-rendering the UI. So that is the one thing. Now we understood about this thing. So now you may be another thing most of them are having doubt is React a library or a framework? So React is actually just a library, even though I keep calling sometimes as a framework. So don't think that it's a framework. It is just actually is a library. React itself is really so called the view layer. So it's not a framework, it's something called as a view layer. If you want to build a complete real world application, we need to choose multiple external libraries to add to your project, example for routing or for data fetching. So why I am trying to say this React is not a framework is, for example, using the React, if you want to develop a really large real world application, so we need to choose external multiple libraries. Like for routing, we need to get a library. For data fetching APIs and all those things, we need to get another external library. Like this we need it. So so there are multiple frameworks that have been built on the top of the React. So normally React is a library, but there are also frameworks that are built on the top of the React. Frameworks includes all these functionalities out of the box that React is missing. Whatever the React is missing, this framework includes all those functionalities. Most popular ones are Next.js and Remix. So you people are already aware of this one, Next.js and Remix. Beside all these features, maybe the biggest reason to choose React over all the other frameworks that are similar is because React is extremely popular. So beside these all the features we have learned it, right? The biggest reason to choose React, maybe it could be the thing that React is extremely popular. Many large companies have adopted React a long time ago, and more small companies are also following in their footsteps. Now, all these companies around the world need React developers, which of course has created a huge worldwide job market. So there is also a very large and active React developer community also. So this is also one of the reasons. So now React was created by Facebook. Okay, you are already aware of this one. React was created in 2011 by Jordan Walk, an engineer working at Facebook at the time. That's why React is backed up by Facebook. Now with the Facebook is called as in Meta. Their first React is used in the news feed and also in chat application. So when the first React was introduced in 2011, it was first used in the news feed and also chat application. And therefore it has been spread into the entire to the Facebook application and also to the Instagram application also. In 2013, React has been open source for everyone to use it. React now has converted to truly and completely front-end development. So this is all about the history of the React and what are the features and the definition of the React, which I have discussed you. So mainly React, you need to understand two main things. So it will keep in sync with the data using the UI. Keep in sync with the UI using the data. And also whenever the data or state changes, it will re-render the UI. So these are the two things which you keep in mind. So that's it guys about the React introduction and the definition. So more deeply and all those things I have already covered in our React complete course, which I have told it earlier. So this is a nominal introduction which I am trying to give you. Hope you understood about the definition of the React and why we use the React and why the React is more popular these days. So these are the reasons, and you can check it in the NPM trends also. So the most downloaded in the NPM. So the React is very much popular. So now we have learned what is React and about the React definition and all those things we have learned it. Now before starting the code, so I want you to set up the development environment. So whatever the development environment I am trying to do it, I will try to tell some of the extensions or the softwares which we need to have in order to run the React.js programs. So the first one, the editor which I will be using is the VS Code editor. So if you try to go into here, so this is the website for this one, code.visualstudio.com. So now here you will be able to see this one. So if you are already having this in Visual Studio editor, it's okay, fine. Or otherwise if you don't have, so the Visual Studio Code is available in all the operating systems like Windows, Mac and Linux. So you can able to download it. So here we need to download it and install the Visual Studio Code. After installing this Visual Studio Code, so we need to install the Node.js runtime. So here if you try to, not Node.js, Node. So if you type in Google Node.js, you will be able to see here the Node.js thing. So here the current version right now at the time of this recording is the LTS version is 18.17.1. 20.5.1 is the current. So I recommend you to install the 18.17.1 LTS version. So this is recommended for most users. So after successfully downloading this one and installing the Node.js, so in order to check whether the Node.js is working or not, you can go to the terminal. So whatever the things, so I will be going to the terminal. So new terminal, you can go here and you can search for node-v. Okay. And now in my system, the current node version is installed is 18.16.0. And here the current version it is having is the 18.17.1. So it's not a problem. So it's minute only, right? So you can install this Node.js thing. So after completion of this Node.js, so we have installed the editor and also the Node.js. We need to go to the Visual Studio Code. So here I will tell you some of the extensions which are necessary for the React.js. So if you go to the extensions here, so at the left side bottom you will be able to see the settings icon, and when you click on these settings, so here not settings, sorry, so here you will be able to see the extensions. So here in these extensions, here I will be able to see all the extensions that are installed. The first one which I recommend you to install is the ESLint. Okay, so if you press enter, here you will be able to see in ESLint with by the Microsoft. So what is this ESLint will do is, ESLint will tell you about the linting errors, the debugging, the code quality checks and all those things will be done by using this ESLint. So I recommend you to install this one in our Visual Studio Code. So after installing this ESLint, then I will suggest you to install Prettier. Okay, Prettier. If you try to see, I will be using all the time Prettier only in our project, in our Visual Studio Code. So this is the Prettier code. So if you try to see here, this is around 35 lakhs or something like that is there. So I will suggest you to install this one. And Prettier is used to format the code. So whatever the way you are writing the code, it will format the code. So it will support all the languages like JavaScript, TypeScript, Flow, JSX, JSON, everything it will try to support it. So after installing this Prettier, so for these icons, so if you try to see here, you will be able to see the icons, right? For the HTML, you will be able to see HTML5 icon. For NPM package, you will be able to see NPM. So here for the React JSX, you will be able to see the React icon. So these type of icons, if you want to get is, then you can install extension that is material icon theme. Okay, material icon theme. So here you'll be able to see this is the material icon theme. So you can install this material icon theme. Then you will be able to get these all icons. So here you will be able to see all the icons that are supported here. So these type of icons you will be able to see in your thing. So now these are the pretty much extensions needed at the time of starting of the development. So furthermore, if any extensions is needed or anything, I will guide you in the course. So these are the three things: ESLint, Prettier, and also the material icon theme. So after completion of these Visual Studio Code extensions, now we need to configure these all extensions. So how we can configure these extensions is, so we need to go to the settings. Okay, so let's go to the settings. So here if you try to see the settings, you will be able to see the settings. I don't want you to change these all the things. So just I will tell you some common things which I will be using. So first one is an autosave. You can type here autosave directly, and here this is the autosave. Okay, so now whenever, so here you will be able to have off option. By default it is an off. So whenever you are writing the code and when you are moving from one tab to another tab, okay, so when you are moving from one tab to another tab, the page will be automatically saved. So there is no need to press the Ctrl S icon. If you press the Ctrl S icon, it's fine. When you move from one tab to another tab, it will be all automatically changed. So here you will be able to see after delay, focus change, window change, like this you will be able to see it, right? So you can keep it on focus change, or otherwise you can keep it is off also. So normal I am trying to explain you. So this is one thing. And the another one which I want to use, which I want to tell you is the default formatter. So by default you will be having some other formatter. We have installed the Prettier, right? So if you press here default formatter, and here you will be able to see default formatter. default formatter. Here the editor default formatter, and here you will be able to see lot of editors, lot of formatters you will be able to see. So here I will suggest you to use the prettier code formatter. So change this option to the prettier code formatter. This is one thing which I will try to tell you. And the another one is format on save. Okay, so format on save. So when you try to see this format on save, try to tick this icon. So by default this checkbox will not be checked, so try to check this checkbox. So this one, what it will try to do is, whenever you are saving the Visual Studio Code page, automatically the default formatter which you have selected, that is we have selected prettier, right? The prettier formatter automatically formats our code. So that is one thing which I want to tell you. And the another one which I will tell you is the ESLint run. Okay, ESLint run. So here if you see here ESLint run, yeah, here. So this one, by default it will be on type. On type means whenever you type a single letter in the Visual Studio Code, automatically the ESLint will run. So this should not happen. So whenever you try to save, okay, whenever you try to save, automatically then the ESLint has to check. So this is one thing which I want to tell you. Why? Because all the time when you are typing without completion of the line itself, ESLint is throwing an error, means it will be annoying for us. So that is the reason on save it needs to tell the ESLint errors. So this is one option. So these are something like the basic settings which I would try to tell you. So before continuing into the React.js development. So these are the things. So we have told you some three extensions. So if you want to have your what I can say is color theme, so you can have your own color theme. So you can use your own thing. So if you want to set the color theme means, so here you can go to the themes and in the color theme you can have it. So I am using the dark modern here. So I am using the dark modern. So I have so many themes here. Winter is coming, solarized light, material theme, lighter, like this I have so many things, but I am using the dark modern. So if you want to use it, you can use it like this, or otherwise we have some other color themes like we can say monokai theme, so which will be something like nice. I think this one also you can do it, one monokai theme, yeah, here. So you can install this one, and after installing this one, so you can set it at the top. So here you'll be able to see it, right? So this is the monokai theme. Okay, whichever is suitable for you, you can select it. So there is no compulsion on this one. So the whichever is the, what I can say is the font sizes and all those things, whoever is comfortable with the font size and the color themes, they can use their things. Some people will be interested in dark mode, some people are interested in not in dark mode, in the lighter mode, so white color background they will be interested. So that is their own way of coding. Okay, but these extensions what I have told you, right, prettier, ESLint, these things, install it for the time being. Then afterwards we will try to install one by one, and afterwards the settings which I have told you, auto save, default formatter, format and save, and ESLint run. So these settings also you can set it. So now we have successfully set up our development environment. Now it's time for us to code it. So we will try in the next video, we will try to install the React.js and all those things, we will try to use it. Here in this video, we will learn how we can implement the basic React project. So without installing the npm packages and all those things, just I will try to explain you briefly. So for this one, what I will be trying to do is, I have created a new folder, React course, and this folder I will try to commit in the GitHub. So all the projects I will create one by one here, whatever the projects I will be creating in the React. The first one is a basic React one. So it's a basic React without npm and all those things. And this basic React I will try to open in the Visual Studio Code. So let's open this one in the Visual Studio Code. So I have opened this. So this is our basic app, so basic React. So right now we don't have any files in this one. I am creating a new file, that is index.html. So this is our basic index.html file. So it is creating, let it create, yeah. So after creating this index.html file, now I will be writing the HTML, the basic layout. So here I am writing the HTML. So without using the npm package, I will try to use the React.js. How we can use it, let's try to see. If you go to our the documentation of the React documentation, and here in the learn React, if you go to the installation, in this installation, if you go down, So try React locally. So try React locally. To try React locally on your computer, download this HTML page. So let's open this HTML page, and here in this HTML page you will be able to see these two things. So let's copy these two things. So now let's open here in our body, and here I am pasting. Oh, sorry. Let's copy this. Let's copy these two things. Yeah. So I am copying this one, and here I will paste it here. Yeah. These are the two things which we need to for the development. So after doing this one, so what we need to do is we need to add a div element. So this is the root element. So here we are trying to add the React code, and here I have closed the div element, and this is the root element. So after finishing this root element, I will show you the output for this one. So right now we will not able to see any output. Okay, so let's open this one in here. So we are not able to see any output, but in the console, if you try to see, then in the console also we will be not seeing any errors. Fine. So now we need to create a function. So here after installing, after the scripts load, so we will create a function app. Here we will be writing the code. So what is the code we need to write is, so we know that the React uses the JSX code, right? So but here we are not using the JSX code. So we don't have any tools or any bundles or anything that can convert into the JavaScript. We don't have anything. So we need to write it. So here I told you, right? So the React uses the JSX syntax. So the JSX syntax internally it will be converted into a method. So how it will be converted is, so here this is the component I am trying to create. Return React dot create element. Okay, this is the method. The first one is the element name we need to give it. So the element name I am trying to use the header. Okay, this should be wrapped in script. So this is a script code, right? So we need to wrap this one all entire in a script. And let's copy here and paste it at the bottom. Yeah. So React dot create element header, and here the properties, if you have any props or anything you can use it, and here I will be using something like hello world. So that's it. Now if you see the output, we are not able to see any output. Why? Because so we are not binded this one to the root element. So in order to bind this one to the root element, so what I need to do is first I need to catch the root element. So for this one, what I can do is constant root. So here we have a thing React DOM. So React DOM is available. Dot create root. Okay, create root, and we need to provide here document dot get element by ID of root. Where is the root? Yeah, that's it. Now we got the root, and we need to render the component. So that is nothing but root dot render, and here I can use something like React dot create element of app. That's it. Finish. So now if you try to see the output here, immediately if you see the output, let's see the output. React DOM is not what it is trying to say. React DOM is not available. Oh, sorry, this should be something like DOM. Okay, now if you see the output for this one, see we are able to see the hello world. So we are able to successfully see the hello world, and if we try to see the inspect element, here we are able to see that header has been created and with that content of hello world. So this is a child node for this one. If you want to have a class, if you want to apply a class, means you can have an object, you can provide the props class is equal to Leela. So the class Leela will be applied to the element for the header. If you try to see here, class equal Leela has been applied. And if you want to add a span element inside this span element, or if you want to add an h1 element inside this h1 element, I want this hello world means. So what I can do is, so we should not add hello world, and here we need to add React dot create element, and for this one, so we need to create an h1, and we don't have any properties for that one, and in this one I can add hello world. Now if you see, so this will be attached to the h1. See, h1 has been added. In the header you will be able to see the h1, and for this h1 you will be having a child content. the content or child node hello world. So this is how we will be writing. Now let's say that we will try to show a time for this one. So in this one we can also write the JavaScript logic also. So here I can write constant time is equal to new date dot to local a time string. So I am taking this one. So in order to show this time, so what I can do is I will use the template literal here and I will use this time. That's it. Now if you see, we are able to see the time also, but I want to update this one dynamic. So how can I do this one? So we know that React, the UI, the data drives the UI. So let's try to use this one time comma set time. So the state data. So here I will be using React dot use state and the default value is this one. So I need to call this one every 1 second. If you see the output here, so we are able to see the same output, no change, but we need to update it for every 1 second, right? So what I can do is I will use the use effect. So React dot use effect, and this is the method, and this should be called only one time on the mounted. So I can keep an empty bracket here, and in this one if I want to do is I will call set interval and return this is a function, and here this should be called for every 1 second. Okay, in this React, in this one I will call set time of, again I will use the same code, new date, and I will copy the same code here, and where is this one? Yeah, here I will paste it. That's it. So now every 1 second I am calling. So now if you see the output, so we are able to update the content. So this is how we will be writing the React. This is a pure React or something like that, whatever the name it may be, the basic React without using the npm tools. So we are making use of this React create element, and there is no need of any tools and bundlers and all those things. There is not at all used it here. So just we are writing using the basic thing. And now if you see the output for if you see the template for this one, here this guy has written the h1, the what I can say is the j6 and all those things, right? How this is possible is, so they have imported the Babel. So they have imported the Babel compiler, and this Babel compiler, it slowly compiles the JS Babel in the browser. So like this it will try to do it. Okay, so it will convert this one to a JavaScript. So anything we can use it. So now there is no need for us to use the Babel thing. Just we are making use of the React.create element, which is available in the function is available in the React itself. So that's it guys. So what I will try to do is I will commit this code, everything in the GitHub. So if you want to refer this code means I will provide you the link in the description below, the GitHub link. I need to create a repository, so that is the reason I am doing it. So I will not show it in the video. So next onwards I will show it in the video where you can get it. So here the link is provided in the description below. Whenever you have a reference for this one, so you can take a look at that one. All the projects, whatever the projects I will trying to create, I will keep it in that repository only. So that's it guys about this pure React. So if you have for creating a new project in the React, let's try to see the official documentation of the React, how the official documentation will look like. If you see here, this is the React official documentation. So this is the home page, and whenever you are trying to learn the React means, so you need to click on the button learn React. Here you will be able to see some links and all those things. So here they will be giving you some what I can say, how to create a project and all those things they are doing. And here they have given the installation. So this one will guide you how to install a new project and all those things, so which we will try to see now. And here you will be able to see the steps and all those things, how we can develop it. These are all things. And here another link which I want to tell you is the reference. So if you try to click on this reference, you will be able to see all the methods. Every single method which we use in the React is mentioned here. Like up to now we have used one method, something like useState. If you want to learn more about this useState means, so you can go through this entire documentation. So they will give complete details about this useState. So like this you will be having all the reference. So each and every method, whatever the method you are trying to use it, they will provide you the information about this one. So this is thing which I want to tell you. So if you want to learn more about this one means, so I have given you just overview of the useState, right? If you want to know deeper about the useState means, so you can go through the reference and you can click on the method useState and you can learn it. So this is all about the documentation and the learn thing. And whatever kind of this, there is also one important thing, something like escape hatches, so which it is a worthful reading this one. So when you might need an effect and separating events from effects, so like this we will be having, we'll try to see those things also. So before going on to this one, so just try to see how we can create a new React project for building an application. So this is the thing. So create a new React project. Let's try to have some overview about this one. In real world, we don't write code in React apps in single JavaScript file without any tooling. In our previous video, we have recreated the simple React app in a single file, index.html file. We have written the HTML, the React code and everything. We have written it, right? So, but in the real world, it will not be like that. Let's learn about the options what we have in order to create a brand new React project. There are two main options for setting up the React project. One is create React app tool and another one is a Vite build tool. So these are the two options which we can create a new React project. So what are the advantages and disadvantages of these both two? Let's try to see. Create React app is basically complete starter kit for React application. It was developed many years ago in order to make it really easy for developers to scaffold the new React apps. So this is one thing. All the developer tools are already pre-configured out of the box in create React app tool specifically for React. It will automatically comes with a webpack which is a module bundler, and ESLint which is a linter, prettier which is a code formatter, and just a testing library. So this all comes predefined, configured with you when you try to create a React app with create React app tool. The problem with create React app is that it was developed many years ago. It uses some slow and outdated technologies like webpack bundler. So these are the things which create React app. The problem is, so it was very slow when you are trying to develop. It has really stopped innovating. So the updation and all those things has really stopped. And therefore right now the recommendation is not use create React app for making real world projects anymore. So if you want to create a large scale real world application, then create React app is not a recommended one. However, it is still perfectly the fine way to get started quickly with a new React app for tutorials, courses for simple experiments. So if you are trying to learn the React and all the things comes in ship, right? So like EJS and all those things pre-configured that one. So it is really nice to if you are trying to learn a React app, you can create a React app with the create React app. It's not a problem. It's fine. So you can learn it with this. You may be reading some articles that create React app is dead, but that's only true for building real apps. For learning, it is 100% fine. So some articles and all those things outside, they will be telling that create React app is dead and all those things. So but for real world applications, if you are trying to build it, so that is not 100% true. But what I can say is for learning, if you are trying to learn and all those things, it is 100% fine. You will not encounter problems for small scale applications, but large scale apps will face like slow refresh times. So this is the problem in the create React app. Now if you want to build real world applications with React means, then Vite is the perfect choice. If you want to develop real world applications, then Vite is the perfect choice. Vite is quite different from create React app. It is basically simple, a modern build tool like modern webpack. It also contains starter template for setting up the brand new React applications. Automatically when you try to create a app with Vite means, it will automatically comes with a starter template like scaffolding. If you create React app with Vite, you will have to manually set up many important developer tools like ESLint, prettier, just testing library, anything and so on. So like this you need to set up manually if you create a React app with Vite. Whereas in the create React app, this all comes with pre-configured. The most painful and annoying is setting up these all ESLint and developer tools to play nice with React. That can be a bit of work and it can go wrong. So this involves a lot of work in order to pre-configure these type of developer tools and all those things. Sometimes it may go wrong also. I recommend develop using create React app for tutorials when we just want to get up and running as quickly as possible. So whenever you are trying to learn, whenever you are learning about the React and all those things means, I recommend use the create React app for learning. Why? Because it is pretty much easy to start and you can learn it as quickly as possible. So instead of setting up and all those things. So you will be completing very quickly and you can learn the React, and afterwards you can go for Vite. Then why Vite is even in first place? The reason is that it is just extremely fast to automatically refresh the page when the code changes, which we call it as an hot module replacement. Whenever we change the code, automatically it is very fast, it will refresh the page instantly. So that is the reason it is first place. Bundling is extremely fast, which for large scale application can really make a difference. So the bundling in the Vite is very fast, which we developing a large scale applications means it can really make a difference. Because waiting for 1 or 2 seconds, it can become really annoying over time. But with Vite, the page will update almost instantly. In summary, what I want to tell you is we will see create React app for small projects in this course. At the end of this course, I will develop a large scale applications, 1 or 2, and we will develop those all the things with Vite to make a real world app. So that one we will try to develop with real world app. So for learning and all those things, I will be creating a simple small projects for demonstration. I will use it, create React app. At the final, we will develop the real world app with Vite and all those things. Okay. So that is the thing which I was trying to tell you. Whenever if you see React documentation, React team now advises developers to use so-called React framework like Next.js and Remix to build new projects. So for example, let's say that if you open this React and if you go to the installation, start and creating an app. If you try to see here, if you want to build a new app or a new website fully with React, we recommend picking one of the React frameworks popularly. So like Next.js and Remix, it is asking us to develop. So the React team itself is advising us to use a React framework. Many people think that this is not the best idea. So many people think that this is not the best idea. Why? Because using the Next.js and Remix at the starting only, it's not the best idea. Vanilla React apps is also important too. Okay. So this only makes sense for building actual real-time projects. For example, when you are trying to build a real-time projects, this actually makes sense. But when you are trying to learn the React means, so this doesn't make any sense. Why? Because Next.js and Remix are built on the top of the React. Okay, are built on the top of the React. So that means in order to implement a project application in the Next.js means you need to learn the React. So directly implementing this Next.js means you need to learn the React. So that is the reason. So for learning React and all those things, that is also important before proceeding into the React framework. Of course, you still need to learn React itself when you are trying to develop application with Next.js or Remix. So don't worry about this one. So this course is completely on this one, right? So React, we will just learn the React only. So don't worry about these all the things. We will try to learn React and we will develop the React application using the Vite and the create React app. So that's it guys about this explanation about the new React project in this one. So many people will be having doubt. So how to start a React project? So I think this has given you a clear idea. There are two options available, that is create React app and Vite. Vite is used for the building real world applications, which we will try to see. And create React app is used for learning purpose. We can use it, not a problem. So still we can use it. If you want, you can also use the Vite also, it's not a thing. So but ESLint and all those things are pre-configured in the create React app, whereas in the Vite we need to manually configure it. So these are all the things we will try to see with the Vite in the final time. When we learn all the concepts, we will develop a real world application with the Vite only. So that's it guys about the React documentation. In the next video we'll set up a project using the create React app. Hope you understood about this React official documentation and also the setting up the new React project. If you have any doubts or any suggestions, please post the comments below to this video. And if you like this video, please do support me by subscribing to my channel. Thank you. In this video, we will create a new project using the create React app tool. So in order to create this in order to create a project, create React app. So what you need to do is, so here I am taking the React course. In this React course, I will create it. So you can open the command prompt or terminal in Mac OS or anything. So here in this one, so here we need to create a the project. So for this one, so create React app command line tool is available for us. So the command what we need to type is npx create React app, and we need to create the name of the app. We need to give the name of the app. So I am giving something like pizza app. Okay, so this is the name which I am trying to create a project. So by doing the project only, I will try to explain the concepts and all those things. Now let's press enter. So it will ask you to I will install the create React app. It will try to tell you if you don't have a create React app command line tool, so it will ask you that it will create it, or otherwise it will normally create the project. So let it create it. It will take some time. So here it is trying to create a new React app, the pizza app, and it is trying to install the packages. This might take a couple of minutes. So it is installing React, React DOM, React scripts with CRA template, everything it is trying to create it. So let it install all the packages that are necessary for the project to live. So here the project has been created, and if you try to see, everything has been created. So if you want to start the development server, we need to use the command npm start, and if you want to build it, you need to build it here. So npm test in order to start the test runner. Reject means it will remove this tool, and it will copy all the build dependencies, webpack and all those things. If you want to do it. If you want to customize the webpack means you can run this command. So now after this, so let me open this project in our Visual Studio Code. So I am opening this project in the Visual Studio Code. Let's close this one. I will go to the pizza app. So cd pizza app, okay, and I will open this one in the Visual Studio Code. So here this is the project which I have opened it, and here you will be able to see some couple of what I can say is couple of files. I will try to explain you one by one here. And here if you see in this one, so what is happening is, so this is the first one. If you try to see, this is a readme.md. So this is about the project. So if you want to write something about the project means, so when you are posting in the GitHub and all the things, so you will be having a notes about this one, readme.md file. And the package.json file, as everybody knows about this package.json file, it will be created when you type the command npm init. So this is the name of the application and the version and the dependencies that are used, and these are all the scripts and all those things. So here you will be able to see it. And the package.log.json, so git ignore whatever the files you want to ignore it. And here we will be having a node modules. So in the React, in our previous video, we have seen the basic React app which we have developed it without using the npm. But here we are trying to use the npm. So the React and all those things will be installed in the will be added in the node modules. So where will be this React is, if you come down A B C D E F G H I J K L M N O P Q R or something like down, it will be V Q R. Where is that React? So it may be at the top. Yeah, here if you are able to see the React DOM, everything has been added here. So like this in the node modules it will be added. So this is the node modules where all the dependencies and all those things will be residing. And this is the public folder. So as you are aware of this one, public folder, so these are all the assets and all those things which you are having it. So here you will be having in this one. And here the entry file is the index.html file. So this is the index.html file. If you clearly able to observe, so we are using the div id is equal to root. In our previous when you are trying to develop a React app, we have used the same notation, this one, div id is equal to root. And here you will be able to see some logos and all those things, fav icons. So these are all the assets and all those things, whichever you want to add it to your application, the images. So you can add it in the public folder. Sometimes this index.html will be outside somewhere, wherever it may be, wherever it can be, it will work. It's not a problem. So now the another thing which you want to understand is the main thing is the source folder. So this is the place where we will be writing most of the application logic or the code. So here you will be having some couple of files which are not necessary. So we will remove this one when we are trying to develop the project. And here you will be having an app.js file and index.js file. So this index.js file is the thing. So we have already written the same code in our previous video also. So react dom.create. So this react dom should be imported and create root, and we are getting the root element which is available in the index.html file. So we are getting in the same thing, and we are doing the root.render, and here we are using the app. And this app is the entry module, not entry module, so entry component, this one. So if you open this app.js file, so this is the component, and here you are able to see the function app, and we are returning the JSX code, and we are exporting default app. So if you want to change this code, so here I can change it something like this. If I want to change it, we can change it like this. Now we need to run this code. So how we can run this code? So here in the package.json, if you try to see here, you will be able to see some scripts. Okay. So start means it will start the development server. So it will give you some localhost URL so that you can open that localhost URL and you can see the code. Build means it will build all the files in the dist folder. So it will build all the files. Test means if you want to run the test program. Eject means it will configuration files and all those things will be copied into the outside. So these are the commands. So now when you are to try to run this one, so what I need to do is here I can use npm run start, or otherwise simply when you are using start means there is no need to type the run. So like this we need to type the command npm start. So here it will take some couple of time, it will bundle the files and it will give you your development server. So let it take some time. So let it build it. So now it has been compiled. So here if you try to see, this has been compiled and it is starting the development server. So you will be able to see some warnings and all those things here. It is not maintained anymore like this thing. So there is no need to worry. So as we are learning the React things, so we will be focused on the code. And when we develop a project and all those things, so we will create the application using the Vite tool. So here I am trying to show using the create React app. So let's try to see this one. So I think hopefully this has been, this is running I think. So it will take some time. Let it take it. So here the project has been coming. So here you will be able to see the output. And if you try to see here, so the project webpack compiled successfully and this is the localhost URL. So you'll be able to see this localhost URL. And now this is the code. So where is this code is residing? So if you try to see here, as I already told you, in our index.js, so this is the entry component, app component, which is showing the output. And if you go to this app.js, so this is the code which we are having. So you can remove this code and you can add an h1 and you can write hello React. You can write it. Now if you see the output, how it will look like. Now let's go into the output and here you will be able to see hello React. Now we have successfully created the project using create React app and we have understood. So we have gone through over the file structure and all those things. So this is all about the creation of this project using the create React app tool. So in the previous video we have seen how to create the React project using the create React app command. We have seen it. Now this is the output which we will be able to see when you type the command npm start. So fine. So now this is the project structure. We already seen about the project structure. Now what I will try to do is we will try to develop the project. So from first onwards we will develop the project. So there will be no topics covering and all those things. In between this one I will cover the topics and we will do the project one by one and we will do some couple of projects. Now here, so what I am doing is, so here this is our source, right? So I am deleting all the files from here to here. These are all the files from here to here. I will delete it literally. We will try to do it from first onwards. So if I delete this all project and here you will be able to see the output that module cannot found app.css and all those things. So here the first one which is important is the index.js file. So let's create index.js file. Index.js file I have created. Now we need to import the React. So import React from React. We'll write it from scratch onwards. So we need to import the React. Previously we have used something like script src like this, right? But here we need to import the React. And also import the React DOM from React DOM/client. Okay, so this is also we need to import it. So fine. So we have imported all the necessary features whichever is needed for us. Now it's time for us to write a function. So function app. So this is our component. Okay. Now here, so what I want to do, constant root is equal to, so we need to get the root. React DOM dot create root. So we need to have a create root. So here the create root we will be getting it from the index.html. Okay. So the index.html. So this is our ID root. So this is our ID root. Now here I will be adding document dot get element by ID of, I will be using this root. So hopefully this one works. Now what I need to do, I need to use root dot render of app. Oh, not this app. So we will do app like this. So that's it. So now we have used the root dot render dot app. Now Now here let's add return h1 hello React. I will write it like this. So let's press semicolon and save it. So hopefully this should work. Let's refresh this page. Maybe, yeah. Now we are able to see the output. If I do some if I keep some semicolons and all those things, so you will be able to see the output. So here what I am trying to do, I am opening the project in a separate, in a side window, and I am writing the code here so that we can have a clear understanding. So what I am trying to write it. So this is how we will be writing the create React app. And what we have did is, so we have run this system. So this is the simple thing which we will be writing. And now onwards we will write the code from scratch onwards. From scratch we will be writing this code. So what I will try to do is, I will commit this code. In the next video we will see how we can debug and all those things. So I will commit this code in our GitHub URL. Whoever may be having doubts or anything, if you want to refer the code, so you can go to this GitHub repository URL. So that GitHub is nothing but React18 course. Okay. So this is our React18 course. So this is the thing. And here I have created a basic React, so which I have implemented that one using a pure React code. So without using the npm tools, whichever the code I have written, I have given it here. Whatever the projects I will be trying to create, I will create it like a folders here. So now this one, I will commit this all the code. What I will try to do is, so this is our main code, right? So here I will commit this all the code, or otherwise here we can push it. So let's push these all the things, and I have pushed it. So here I will be writing initial commit pizza app. Okay, so I am committing this all code. So let's commit this all the code. Fine, sync the changes. So now if you try to see the output for this one, let it commit, and here automatically the code will be updated here. Let's refresh this page. Maybe it will be pizza app, you are able to get it here. So if you want to get the code means, so you can clone this code, you can clone this one pizza app, this is the one code, and you can clone it here and you can download it, whatever the thing, you can do it. So here whatever the projects I will be creating in this React18 course, I will create one by one here. Whoever may be having a doubts, and if you want to refer the code means, they can go to this one. And also I will create a branch from next video onwards. I will create a branch with the video number, whatever the video number it is there. With that video number I will create a branch. Whoever wants to get the take for the reference means of that particular video, you can go it. So this GitHub repository URL will be provided in the description below of this video. For every video it will be provided from now onwards. So you, for any reference, you can refer to this one. So that's it guys. In the next video we will see some more details about the pizza app code. So hope you understood about this one. If you have any doubts or any suggestions, please post the comments below to this video. And if you like this video, please do support me by subscribing to my channel. Thank you. So we are developing the pizza app, right? So we have used these all things. So now let's try to develop this pizza app. So now before developing this one, so here I will add a strict mode. So in the previous video I have forgot to mention you this one. So I am mentioning a strict mode. What is this strict mode is in the development. So not in the production or anything. So in the development, the component or the project will be rendered twice. Why? Because in order to check any outdated technologies that we are using, or any bugs or anything. So if anything is there, in order to mention that one, so it will try to re-render twice in order to check those all the things. This will happen only in the development, not in the production. It will not do it twice. So that is what I want to mention you. So adding a React strict mode doesn't do much. Not do much means. So if you mention it, it will give you some outdated technology, some assumptions, and some flaws it will try to tell you. So that is the reason we will be wrapping with the React that's strict mode. So with using if you are using this one means it will be rendered twice in the development phase. So fine. So we'll discuss about this one afterwards. So now let's try to develop our project pizza app. So now if I am trying to develop this one, what I will do is I have some data. Okay. So I don't want to write. So I have some data. So I will copy this data and I will paste it at the top. So we are having some couple of data. Okay. So here I found it from the internet. So here I am added some data, and this data. So we'll try to use this data. Okay. So these are all the list of pizzas available. Now here I will create a component function pizza. Okay. So single pizza I am developing it here. So this one will return, this one will return, this one will return the HTML. So here what I can do is I will wrap it in one div, and here I will do h2. So here this one is a pizza title, so which we need to do it, afterwards we'll do it, pizza title, and another one is let's say pizza description. Okay, so this is the component which I am trying to do it. So this pizza has been created, this component has been created. Now I want to use this component. So here in the app I will use this component pizza. If I try to use this component, here immediately we got an error. Here you will be able to see that. So we cannot able to use this one. Why? Because so you cannot have in a component two adjacent elements like this. So there should be one root element wrapped. So here I will try to, for every component this one is compulsory. So you will wrap it like this. So now you'll be able to see the output. So this time we are able to see the pizza and title also here, right? So now another thing what I want to do is, so we have used this pizza title, right? Now we can duplicate this component, not duplicate, so we can use this component multiple times. Now here you'll be able to see the pizza title description has been added multiple times. Okay, so like this we have added it. And also what I want to tell you is already I have the images in my public repository, so I will copy those all up in the public repository, those all images. So I will paste it, these all the images. So I have pasted some images which I found it from the internet. So I have pasted these all the images where, so here this is the image photo name which we will be having. So I will use this one inside here. img src is equal to, I will use some dash static thing. Afterwards we'll make it dynamic. Now one by one we'll try to see. So here I am able to see some image. Now here we are able to display the pizza component. This is how we will be creating the component and we will be using it here. So creating and reusing the components. Okay, so this is the usage of this in the React, the components usage. So here you can mention the alt. Okay, so I have mentioned the alt here. This is the ESLint error. Now we got it. Now never mention the component inside another component. So here you cannot mention here like this. So this one will work, not a problem. This one works, still works this one, but this is not the recommended way. So nested components means so using a component inside a component. Okay, so not like this. So we should not use it like this. So here I am copying this, I am removing this one and I am pasting at the bottom. So like this we need to use. So you are using component inside component means I mean to say like this. Nested component means I mean to say like this. So fine. So we have created our pizza component and here we are able to see the complete output. So we have understood about the usage of this, creating of this component and reusing the component, we have seen it. Now I want to design, I want to complete this little bit more by adding a header and also the footer and a menu. Let's try to create those components also here. Function header. So this is the component. We'll try to separate. We'll separate these all the things in another video. So just I am trying to explain you the components concept. Function header, and I will be having a footer, and in between this one I will be having a menu. Okay. So that's it. So these are the header, footer, and menu. Now in this header I can return h1 Leela pizza app. So this is the method which I want to tell you. In the menu we will return h2 our menu. So I will have it like this, and here I can have div, we will return div open today. So just I am adding a method here. So that's it. So header, menu and footer is there. So let's add this header, menu and footer here. I can add directly header, menu, and the last one is the footer. Okay, so this is the footer. So this is our footer. Fine. So if you try to see here at the top, we are able to see our header, and this is our menu, and at the bottom we are able to see open today as the footer. So we have added all those things. So now instead of keeping these all pizzas and all those things here, so it's a part of the menu, right? So we can go back, we can add these all the components in the menu. So here I will paste it, and here we need to have a root component. Why? Because we are having multiple components, right? So here I will mention like this. So in this root component I will add the pizza like this. So 3 pizzas I have added it. Now if you try to see the output, so we are able to see the same output, but we have structured our components. So here this is our root component, and in this root component we are having header, menu and footer. These are the 3 components which we are having, and this header we will be displaying the header part. So whatever the header part you want to add, you can add it. And the menu, we have this menu, and in this menu we have designed the pizzas, and the footer we have this footer, and this is another component, pizza. So this is how we will be creating the components one by one. This is the data. Instead of getting it from the DB or anything, I have added some static data which we will try to bind it to our components afterwards while going on. So this is how we will be creating the components. So this video is entirely about how to create the components and how we can reuse the components inside another component, nesting the components, how we can use it. So this one, what I will try to do is I will commit this all the code in a new branch. So whoever wants, they can do it. So here I will be having something like video -8. So this is the 8th video. So creating components, we have did creating components. Okay, and I will commit this code and publish this branch. And I will publish this branch. So let's publish this branch. Publish, it will take some time. So I have committed this branch. So published, this one is published. So now whoever may be having a doubts, the link will be provided in the description below. Whoever may be having doubts and all those things, so they can go to this URL. Okay, so they can go to my URL. React18 course will be there. Where is that one? React18, right? Find repository. Yeah, here it is there. So whoever may be having doubts or anything, so they can go to my public repository. So here it has been committed. So here in this is the project which you are trying to right now. So here I have committed all the images and all those things and everything. I have committed it here. Whoever may be having doubts and all those things, so they can go and refer to this code. So we are developing the pizza app, right? So we have used these all things. So now let's try to develop this pizza app. So now before developing this one, so here I will add a strict mode. So in the previous video I have forgot to mention you this one. So I am mentioning a strict mode. What is this strict mode? Is in the development, so not in the production or anything. So in the development, the component or the project will be rendered twice. Why? Because in order to check any outdated technologies that we are using or any bugs or anything, so if anything is there, in order to mention that one, so it will try to re-render twice in order to check those all the things. This will happen only in the development, not in the production. It will not do it twice. So that is what I want to mention you. So adding a React strict mode doesn't do much. Not do much means, so if you mention it, it will give you some outdated technology, some assumptions and some flaws it will try to tell you. So that is the reason we will be wrapping with the React that's strict mode. So with using if you are using this one, means it will be rendered twice in the development phase. So fine. So we'll discuss about this one afterwards. So now let's try to develop our project pizza app. So now if I am trying to develop this one, what I will do is I have some data. Okay, so I don't want to write. So I have some data. So I will copy this data and I will paste it at the top. So we are having some couple of data. Okay, so here I found it from the internet. So here I am added some data, and this data, so we will try to use this data. Okay, so these are all the list of pizzas available. Now here I will create a component function pizza. Okay, so single pizza, I am developing it here. So this one will return the HTML. So here what I can do is I will wrap it in one div, and here I will do h2. So here this one is a pizza title, so which we need to do it afterwards. We'll do it pizza title, and another one is let's say pizza description. Okay, so this is the component which I am trying to do it. So this pizza has been created, this component has been created. Now I want to use this component. So here in the app I will use this component pizza. If I try to use this component, here immediately we got an error. Here you will be able to see that. So we cannot able to use this one. Why? Because so you cannot have in a component two adjacent elements like this. So there should be one root element wrapped. So here I will try to, for every component this one is compulsory. So you will wrap it like this. So now you'll be able to see the output. So this time we are able to see the pizza and title also here, right? So now another thing what I want to do is, so we have used this pizza title, right? Now we can duplicate this component, not duplicate. So we can use this component multiple times. Now here you'll be able to see the pizza title description has been added multiple times. Okay. So like this we have added it. And also what I want to tell you is already I have the images in my public repository. So I will copy those all up in the public repository, those all images. So I will paste it, these all the images. So I have pasted some images which I found it from the internet. So I have pasted these all the images. So here this is the image photo name which we will be having. So I will use this one inside here. img src is equal to, I will use some static thing. Afterwards we'll make it dynamic. Now one by one we'll try to see. So here I am able to see some image. Now here we are able to display the pizza component. This is how we will be creating the component and we will be using it here. So creating and reusing the components. Okay, so this is the usage of this in the React, the components usage. So here you can mention the alt. Okay, so I have mentioned the alt here. This is the ESLint error. Now we got it. Now never mention the component inside another component. So here you cannot mention here like this. So this one will work, not a problem. This one works, still works this one, but this is not the recommended way. So nested components means so using a component inside a component. Okay, so not like this. So we should not use it like this. So here I am copying this, I am removing this one and I am pasting at the bottom. So like this we need to use. So you are using component inside component means I mean to say like this. Nested component means I mean to say like this. So fine. So we have created our pizza component and here we are able to see the complete output. So we have understood about the usage of this, creating of this component and reusing the component we have seen it. Now I want to complete this little bit more by adding a header and also the footer and a menu. Let's try to create those components also here. Function header. So this is the component. We'll try to separate these all the things in another video. So just I am trying to explain you the components concept. Function header and I will be having a footer and in between this one I will be having a menu. Okay, so that's it. So these are the header, footer and menu. Now in this header I can return h1 Leela pizza app. So this is the method which I want to tell you. In the menu we will return h2 our menu. So I will have it like this and here I can have div, we will return div open today. So just I am adding a method here. So that's it. So header, menu and footer is there. So let's add this header, menu and footer here. I can add directly header, menu and the last one is the footer. Okay, so this is the footer. So this is our footer. Fine. So if you try to see here at the top we are able to see our header and this is our menu and at the bottom we are able to see open today as the footer. So we have added all those things. So now instead of keeping these all pizzas and all those things here, so it's a part of the menu, right? So we can go back, we can add these all the components in the menu. So here I will paste it and here we need to have a root component. Why? Because we are having multiple components, right? So here I will mention like this. So in this root component I will add the pizza like this. So 3 pizzas I have added it. Now if you try to see the output, so we are able to see the same output, but we have structured our components. So here this is our root component and in this root component we are having header, menu and footer. These are the 3 components which we are having, and this header we will be displaying the header part. So whatever the header part you want to add, you can add it. And the menu, we have this menu and in this menu we have designed the pizzas and the footer we have this footer and this is another component pizza. So this is how we will be creating the components one by one. This is the data. Instead of getting it from the DB or anything, I have added some static data which we will try to bind it to our components afterwards while going on. So this is how we will be creating the components. So this video is entirely about how to create the components and how we can reuse the components inside another component, nesting the components, how we can use it. So this one, what I will try to do is I will commit this all the code in a new branch. So whoever wants, they can do it. So here I will be having something like video -8. So this is the 8th video. So creating components, we have did creating components. Okay, and I will commit this code and publish this branch. And I will publish this branch. So let's publish this branch. Publish, it will take some time. So I have committed this branch. So published, this one is published. So now whoever may be having a doubts, the link will be provided in the description below. Whoever may be having doubts and all those things, so they can go to this URL. Okay, so they can go to my URL. React18 course will be there. Where is that one? React18, right? Find repository. Yeah, here it is there. So whoever may be having doubts or anything, so they can go to my public repository. So here it has been committed. So here in this is the project which we are trying to right now. So here I have committed all the images and all those things and everything. I have committed it here. Whoever may be having doubts and all those things, so they can go and refer to this code. Hi guys, this is Leela. Welcome to my channel Leela Web Dev. So in this video we will learn about the another property, that is the fundamental concept, that is props. So what is this props? So props are used to pass data from parent to child component. Okay, from parent component to the child component. That means down the component tree. So this is mainly used, props are used to pass the data from parent component to the child component down the component tree. So this is an essential tool to configure and customize the components like function parameters. With props, parent components control how child components should look and work. So this is also one of the things. With props, so we will be able to know that parent component expects or control, it will control the child component, how it should look and it should work. Anything can be passed as props. Single values, arrays, objects, functions, even other components also we can pass it, which we will try to see about that one. So this is the thing which I would want to discuss with you. The props are used to pass the data from the parent to child component. Any data we can pass it, like single value you can pass it, arrays, objects, anything you can pass it. So this is one thing. And another thing which I want to discuss with you is the props are read-only. So they are read-only and they are immutable. So that means this is one of the React strict rules. So these are read-only. You cannot modify the props value in the child component. So these are immutable. And if you want to mutate these props, you actually need the state. So if you want to mutate this prop means, then you need to store it in the state and you need to do it. So this is one of the React strict rule. So props is the data that is coming from the outside and also can only be updated by the parent component only. The props, the data which will be coming from the parent means outside means it can be only updated by the parent component only. The child component cannot update. State is the internal data that can be updated by the component's logic. So if you want to update the props means you need to save it in the state and you can update the state. So that is the main thing. Mutating the props would affect the parent, creating side effects. So if you want to change the props in the child component means this will create a side effects, and this will also make the functional components not pure. So that is also one of the things. Components should have to be pure functions in terms of props and states. So in the React also this is a rule that components have to be pure functions in terms of props and states. This allows React to optimize apps, avoid bugs, make apps predictable. So this is the reason. And also another thing which I want to discuss you with the props is, so props is always a one-way data flow. Okay, one-way data flow. So this means you can only pass to parent to child. There is no mechanism to pass from child to parent. Okay. So you may be thinking that if you are coming from Angular background or anything, you may be thinking that Angular has a two-way data flow. From parent to child, you can pass it as a props. From child to parent, you can pass it as an event emitter. So this one is not at all available in the React. Only from parent to child only you can pass the data. From child to parent, you can never pass the data. So that is the main thing. This what is this one is, so why? Because for passing child to parent, it is less efficient, and passing only parent to child is the more performant thing. And also it also makes the applications easier to debug, as we have more control over the data. So this is all about the props thing. So props are read only. They are used for sending parent to child. So why we need the props is the parent component. If the parent component wants to control the child component, how it looks and work, means props is used. And another one is props are read only. And the props, so the React components only supports the one-way data flow. And that is nothing but parent to child. Child to parent is not at all supported. So there is another way how we can implement this one for implementing this child to parent thing. We will try to see in the upcoming videos. So just we will try to learn one by one. So this is all about the props, guys. So let's try to see about the props thing. And here in our pizza app, if you try to see carefully, if you try to see in our project, so in our menu function, we are sending the pizza, right? For this pizza, we can send it as a props. So for example, if I want to send the name value, so here we are having some data, right? Name, ingredients, price, and photo name. Let's try to send this one. So I want to send for this pizza, name is equal to, so I can send it something like, let's say, and here I will send the value, let's say that we will take this value, okay, so which we will try to send it. So where is this our menu pizza? So let's copy this pizza thing and paste it near the menu, yeah, so that for us it will be very easy. And here I will be using this pizza, and here I will try to paste it here. And the another one is nothing but name and ingredients. So we will try to send the ingredients also. We are having this ingredients, right? So ingredients, I will try to send it. So we can send it like this. Afterwards, we'll try to make it dynamic. I want to explain you about the props thing. And price, we'll send the price also. Price is equal to, and whatever the price is there, 18 or anything, we'll send it. And the another one which is having photo name also we'll send it. Last one, photo name is equal to, and the photo name we are having is this one. I will try to show you, and we'll paste it here. So now these are the props we are trying to send it, right? So these props we need to capture it to here. So here we can capture it using the props. And here if you want to mention this one, so here I can mention it something like source is equal to, so here I can mention props dot photo name, and here the alt should be props dot what is that one, name. I will use the name, and here also it should be props dot name, and here you will be able to see the title has been changed. And here I will use the ingredients, so that should be props dot ingredients. I am using it like this, and I will do the paragraph element. I will do the paragraph element, and this one also will do the paragraph element only, yeah. And if you want to show the price, we will show it something like props dot price, okay. So we are able to show the price also here. So I will design this one all. I will not show the styling of this one pizza and all those things. I will try to design it. And this one we have did it, right? And we have completed the pizza thing. And if you want to reuse this one, so you can copy this one and you can paste it directly. So this one pizza, you can have it something like pizza solimo. You can change that properties name. Here you can write it like this. And the ingredients also, if you want to change it, you can change it also. Now for example, let's say that for this 18 and this one is having 14, right? So for example, if I want to do something like for the price, I will do +4. If I do it like this, what it will happen? 144 and 184. It is appending instead of adding. So if you want to send the value means to the props, so here you need to send the 18 like this. Now if you try to see here, it will be updated to 22 instead of 184. So like this, we need to send the props. So I am trying to explain you clearly about these props. So this is how we will be sending the props into the from parent to the child component. Hope you understood about this one. What I will try to do is I will commit this code in a new branch video-10. Okay, about the props thing I am explaining you, and here props data. So it is very simple only. Just I want to explain you about this one. So I have published this branch. Whoever may be having a doubts in this one, so they can go to my GitHub repository URL. The link is provided in the description below. Whoever may be having a doubts, they can go to this particular repository URL. Whatever the video you are watching, you can go to that particular branch of that video and you can refer this code. Hope you understood about this props data. If you have any doubts or any suggestions, please post the comments below to this video. And if you like this video, please do support me by subscribing to my channel. Thank you. So we are working on the pizza app, right? So before proceeding further into the project, so let's try to learn some of the rules of the JSX. Why? Because the JSX syntax, whoever is coming new to the React or whoever is coming from another framework, they will be finding little bit of difficulty, not difficulty, strange of writing the HTML in the JavaScript code. So normally we are not writing the HTML code in the JavaScript. So it is called as in some kind of JSX syntax. So what are the rules and for writing the JSX things? Let's try to see in this video. Many beginners get quite confused when they start using JSX in their own code. So that is the thing which I want to explain you before proceeding into this one. So beginners, when they are trying to learn about the React and all those things, they may get confused. Even though I am also get confused that writing HTML in the JavaScript. How could this could be possible? But actually we are not writing the HTML, we are writing the JSX thing. In fact, JSX can be a trick to understand. Let's quickly check out the rules of how JSX works. There are some general JSX rules and difference between JSX and HTML. So I want to tell you some of the rules of the JSX and also the difference between the JSX and also the HTML. JSX works essentially just like the HTML. So it has a very similar syntax. So JSX works, JSX and HTML looks quite similar, but they are not equal. So they work essentially just like the HTML only. They have similar syntax. We can enter JavaScript mode by using curly braces. Whenever you want to write a JavaScript code inside the JSX means, then you need to use a single curly braces like that. Anywhere in the markup where a value like text or an attribute is expected. In this JavaScript mode, we can place any JavaScript expression, anything that produces a value. So you can write anything in that one which produces a value. So we can reference variables, create arrays or objects. We can also loop over an array using the map method. So here you try to understand it very carefully. So any JavaScript expression or any JavaScript we can use it in the curly braces in the JavaScript mode, but it needs to produce a value. It can be anything. So like reference variables, arrays, objects or anything. We can also loop over array using the map method. We can also use operators like ternary operator. So this ternary operator also you can use inside the JSX thing. JSX cannot use statements like if-else statement, for loop, a switch or any other statement. So it will not use these type of things. If-else statements, for loop, for looping over, a switch statement like this, the JSX it will not accept it. It is also important to know that a piece of JSX produces a JavaScript expression. So here this is the thing. So whenever you are trying to write h1 hello world means actually behind the hood or behind the code, it will be converted into something like react.createElement h1 null hello world. So this is how it will be converted. So don't think that this is a regular HTML. When you are trying to write h1 hello world like that, it is not a regular HTML. It is a JSX code which in return it will be converted into like that. We can also write JSX anywhere inside a component. So inside a component, we can write it anywhere you want. We will try to see further more in the upcoming videos, but I will try to show. I am trying to show you. So there you can use if else, assign to variables, pass it into your functions like this. You can use it. You can assign it to a variable, the JSX code and all those things, and you can use if else statement. Inside the if else statements, you can use the JSX code, and you can pass it to another functions like that. Also, you can do it. A piece of JSX can only have one root element. So this is the main important thing you need to understand. like view2 which has a run root element in the template. Now view3 doesn't need to have one root element. So in the same scenario, JSX also it accepts only one root. So basically one parent element. If you need more than that, means when you need to return two elements from a component, you can use React fragment, which we will try to see in the later courses. So only one parent element should be there. If you need more than one, you need to return two elements from a function or from a component, means then we need to use the React.fragment, which we will try to use it. Now we understood about the rules of the JSX thing. So first one is it needs to have one root element, and you can write anywhere the JSX code, and you need to understand that whenever you are writing HTML, under the hood it will be converted into a method, and you cannot use the if else statements, for loop or switch statement, anything you cannot use it. You can use a ternary operator, or you can loop over the array using the map method, not the for loop method. So these are the things which you can understand. These are the rules of the JSX thing. Okay, so now let's try to see the difference between a JSX and a regular HTML. So we need to use the class name. Class name should be used instead of HTML class. So why? Because class is a reserved keyword. So this is a JavaScript code, right? So class name should be used instead of the class. And HTML for is used instead of for attribute. So whenever you are trying to write a label and an input element, so the ID will be represented for the label using the for. So here we need to use HTML for instead of for. Every tag needs to be closed. Example img tag, like that. Every tag must and should it needs to be closed. Whereas in the HTML, if you don't close it, the Chrome automatically understands the browser, it will try to close it. So whereas here we need to close it. All event handlers and other properties need to be camel cased. So here now normally in our thing what we will try to do, we will not use the camel case letters, right? On click like that. Here we need to use in JSX on click and on mouse over like this. It needs to be camel cased. So this is also one of the important thing you need to understand. So and there is some exceptions like area hyphen and data hyphen. These things you can use it with dashes only, just like the HTML. So this is one of the exception which I want to try to tell you. So these are generally the rules which these are some of the rules I am trying to tell you. Where we are, area hyphen, data hyphen are written in dashes like HTML. Now another thing which I want to tell you is CSS inline styles are written like this style. So object will be using. So I already explained you in the previous video how we will be writing the CSS inline styles using the style. We can reference all the styles as an object to a variable, and with that object you can use it here. CSS property names are also camel cased. So if you try to see text transform, font size, font weight, these all the things should be camel cased. So this is also one of the difference which you will be able to find with the JSX and also with the HTML. And the last one which I want to tell you, the difference between HTML is comments. Comments need to be in single. Why? Because comments are belongs to the JavaScript, right? So when you are trying to reference with the JavaScript, so the comments will be in the single brace. So I already told you that whatever the JSX mode is, JavaScript mode, if you want to enter in the JSX template, means you need to have a single curly braces. So that is the reason. Comments is also, but comments also does belongs to the JavaScript. So that is the reason you need to comment out using the single brace. So these are all the difference between what I can say is HTML and the JSX. What is the difference is, so one thing is which I can say class name, which is very important, which you will be able to see all the time, and the tag every tag needs to be closed. And here you will be able to see the another one is event listeners. Whenever you are trying to write the event listeners, on click, on mouse over, these all things should be camel cased. And inline styles, you already know the style should be represented as an object, and the comments should be enclosed in a single brace like this. So these are all the difference are general rules and the difference between HTML and the JSX. When before proceeding into the project, I want to tell you about these things which are quite new to the beginners. Hope you understood about these rules of the JSX thing. If you have any doubts or any suggestions, please post the comments below to this video. And if you like this video, please do support me by subscribing to my channel. Thank you. So here we are trying to show the pizza data by using the pizza component and sending the props data. So fine. So this looks fine. But we have a pizza data. So we are having an array of objects which are having more than 5 items to 6 items we are having. So if I want to show these all the 6 items, so how can I do it? I need to copy paste these all pizza items 6 times. So this could not be a fair thing. So tomorrow if anything 10 comes means I need to repaste all the things into 10 items. So this is not the correct behavior. So for this one, what we need to do is we need to loop over this pizza and pizza data, and we need to create the components with the looping. We have learned in our previous video about the rules of JSX. For looping this one in the JSX, for loop will not be supported. So then what I need to do? So I have already explained you that using the map data. So we need to use any JavaScript expression. So we can use the map data for that one. So what I can do here, so we can have a curly braces. Whenever you want to write a JavaScript, we need to enclose with a single curly braces. Now it goes into a JavaScript mode. So we have a pizza data. Let's take the pizza data dot map. Okay, I will be mapping this one, and we will get each pizza. So here I can return the value, or otherwise I can return the pizza like this. That's it. So now we are returning the pizza. Now I can comment out this one. So now it will be created. How many pizza data are there? Those many pizza will be created. So pizza, this could be like this. Yeah, those many pizzas will be created. Now here we are returning nan. Why? Because we are not sending any props data. So now how we can send the props data? We are having photo name like this, right? So here you can use something like name is equal to pizza.name. I can use pizza.name. So like this I can go on write each and everything. So I will try to show you the another scenario also. Instead of sending these all the objects like this, so we know this is a single object, right? We can send this single object at a time. So for this one, what I can do is I can use it as pizza object is equal to pizza. I will send the entire pizza object. Now this pizza object, we can use it here, props dot pizza object dot, like this I can use it. Now if you see the output, so there at the end you will be able to see the output. So here I will try to paste all the things. Okay, now here I have pasted it. So let's remove this one. See, now we are able to get the items. So now here I am able to show all the different types of pizza. Now if I try to remove, so if I try to remove all of them, if I keep only 2 means only 2 pizzas will be coming. So if I try to show you, see, yeah, only 2 pizzas are coming. So that is the reason. So we can loop over all the pizza components. So this is how we will be looping over the pizza components. Normally in Angular or Vue.js, we need to learn a special directive, v-for or nj-for like this. But here there is no need to learn all the things. If you know the JavaScript, that's it. So you can use the map operator or map method, array method, which is present, and it will do it. So what does this map method does? So map method will loop over each array, each element in the array, and it will create a new element. So this has to return some data. Either it could be an array or anything. So here it is returning array of components. So this so array of components it is returning means, so then automatically the components will be displayed. So this is how we will be looping over the components or anything. So now we have understood these all things. Now what we will try to do is we will try to do some, what I can say, the design part. So here I will keep these all the things in an UL. Okay, sorry, I will keep in a UL. Here UL, and this UL I will wrap it. I will wrap it inside this one. Yeah, so I have wrapped this one. I will keep this one as pizzas. Class name is equal to pizzas. Oh sorry, what is this I have written? Class name is equal to pizzas. Okay, now I have written the pizzas. So let's close this UL. Yeah, I have given these pizzas. Now let's go into this one. So this should return each one in a li, and here also you'll change it to li, and here each one you will be having is an pizza. So these are the class names which I am trying to write it. So here also you can have one div. I will do some design. Yeah, fine. Now let's go and design some of things in the index.css file. So here in the index.css file, first we are having a pizzas of UL, right? So for this UL, what I will try to do is list style. So list style, I will keep it as a none so that the dot will not be appeared. So the dot has been removed, and I will apply display grid. So display grid. So if you want to know more about this grid, I have already covered a videos on the CSS playlist, the grid thing, so you can take a look at that one. So grid hyphen template hyphen columns, I am taking the columns. So I am taking two columns, that is one FR and one FR, each one with an equal width. So we are able to get these two FRs, and I will keep a gap between those all the things, 4 REM or something like this. I will keep a gap, fine. And I will take the pizza, okay. So each pizza, I am taking the each pizza, and I will keep it as a display flex. So why? Because so it will come side by side, the content and the image, and I will keep the gap between those two also 3 REM or anything, whatever it may be. So just for the basic design only I am trying to do, and I am going to the dot pizza image. So I will decrease the image to width something around 12 REM or anything. Just I am giving a normal thing. So like this we can do it. So now we are able to have some basic thing, right? So if you want to have these all the things also, you can give it. So that is the reason I have given dot pizza inside the div. So you can have a display flex, and I can give something like a flex direction column. If I try to do it, yeah, here I can give a gap of around 1 REM. Okay, so you will be having a gap here, the price and all the things, we are able to see a gap between the elements. So now we are able to get this one. So hopefully this is somewhat better, I think. So if you want to have this one font, if you want to have a pizza price, means you can also increase the price. So if you want to increase the price, means dot pizza inside a span element. So we have already keep in span element for the price. So here you will be able to see the price. So I can do a display block. I will give that's not needed, just I am giving font size of 1.6 REM, right? Yeah, a little bit bigger. So that's it, guys. So the design I have did it, the basic thing. So this is the how we will be displaying the pizza elements in the data. So we are using a map method which is present in array methods in the JavaScript, and we are looping over each pizza component, each pizza data, and we are rendering a pizza component. Now if you try to see here in the inspect element, you will be able to see the pizza component. So here if I try to see here in this one, okay, so here you will be able to see one UL, and these all are LI elements. So this is how we will be rendering the list data in the React.js. So I will commit this code in a new branch, that is video-12. So this is a video-12 actually. 11 is a theoretical about the JSX rules and how to render these all the things I have told. So rendering list data, okay. So whoever may be having a doubts or anything, if you want to refer this code, means so you can go and refer this code, including the basic styles also I have did it. So github.com, if you want to go React, right, React18 course. So whoever may be having a doubts in this one, so we have a React18 course, all the projects I will be covering. So right now we are doing the project pizza app. So whoever may be having doubts, they can go to this branch and they can go to the particular branch and they can refer the code. Hope you understood the description. The GitHub repo will be provided in the description below, so you can take a look at that one. Hope you understood about this rendering the list using the map method. So if you have any doubts or any suggestions, please post the comments below to this video. And if you like this video, please do support me by subscribing to my channel. Thank you. So if you see here, we have implemented the pizza and we are able to see all the things, right? Let's focus on this footer thing. And here if you try to see, this is the footer. Let's try to add some logic inside this footer. Let's assume that I am having something like constant current hour. Oh, it's all capital, right? So I am taking constant current hour. So right now the current hour is new date dot, and we can write something like get hours. Okay, so get hours. And we can write something like constant open hour. So when it will be opened is I assume that we are opened at from 12, and constant closed hour. So closed hour will be something like 22. Okay, constant is open. So when this one will be opened is, so when this current hour is greater than or equal to open hour, okay, and ampersand current hour is less than or equal to closed hour, then it will be open. So now we got the open hour. Now if you try to print this open hour, console.log, I will do the console.log is open. If I write here is open, now what could be the output for this one? Let's see the output for this one. I will do the inspect element here, and if I do the inspect element in this one, so we are able to see in the console that you must have a unique property. Okay, so here we are using the map, right? So whenever you are trying to use the map, here we need to add a unique property that is nothing but a key property. So this key property we will try to give. So right now pizza.name, so with this will be, we'll discuss about this one key thing. So now we are giving unique property for the key. Already we have discussed about this one in now what I can say in our Vue.js and Angular thing also. What is the usage of this key thing when you are trying to loop it? We'll try to discuss about this one also. So now we have written here footer and is open is false. For example, let's say that we will give it as a 23. Now whether it will be is opened or not, so then also it will be false only. It is true. Okay, so up to here it is true. Now what I want to tell you is, so here we are open is open, right? Now I want to tell that when it is open, I want to show here that it is open and come and order now, something like that. I need to show a button here. So for this one what I can do is, so here I can write something like div class name is equal to order. Okay, so this is the class name I am trying to apply, and I will keep this one in a paragraph. Okay, so we are open until what I can say, I can use the closed hour and colon 00, come and visit us or order online. So just I want to show some data. Now here if you try to see the output for this one, so here we are able to see that we are open until 23, come and visit us or order online. So here I need to show a button, so here I will add a button here. Okay, button order. So let's add some CSS for this one. Class name is equal to btn. I will apply the class name is equal to btn. So let's apply this one. Yeah, so class name is equal to btn. Now we will apply some CSS for this one. So for this btn, if you want to apply the CSS, let's go to here, and for this btn, and here I can write something like color inherit, so which could be black only I think, and font family also I want to inherit. So whatever you want you can do it, inherit. If you want to know more about this inherit, unset, revert, these all things, so I have already covered the course in the CSS, so you can check that one. Border, I am applying this one as none, so I don't want the border, so remove the border, and I will apply a font size of around 1.4 rem. Okay, and I will apply a background color something around #edc84b, something like this, so it's some golden color, and we can apply a padding of 1.4 rem and 3.2 rem, or just randomly I'm giving cursor, so we can give a cursor of pointer to get a hand button. That's it. So that's it, we can do it, and we need to make this one as a center, right? So for this one, in order to make this center, we already have the order, so this order we'll try to make it center. So here I will add the order, and I will take the display as flex, and flex direction as column, and another one is align item center. Okay, I think it will be center now. I will apply some gap so that we can have the distance between the two items, 4.2 rem or anything. Oh, it is so too much big, 2.2 or something like this. Okay, so now we are able to see the output for this one. Now what I want to tell you is, for example, let's say that we are in the 22. Okay, so now actually if you see the console, okay, if you see the console, in the console, so we are able to see it's a false. So that means in the is open false, we should not show this button and the text we should not show it. So for this one we have a conditional rendering. So we need to show this one in a conditional rendering. How we can show this one, the conditional rendering in the React.js is, for example, let's say that we can use the is open and I can apply an ampersand. That's it. So now here we are using the conditional rendering ampersand. When this one is true, then only this one will be executed. If this is not true means this one will not be executed. And also I will be trying to tell you that it is a JavaScript expression, right? So whenever you are trying to use a true or false value for this one is open, then it will not be so it will not show the output. True or false, it will not be shown in the output. Only the expression after this one will be shown output. For example, let's say that I want to show something like here like this. So here in this div I will show something like true. So whether this one will show it or will show the output or not, we'll see it. So here I will apply 23 so that we are able to see the output. But here if you see here the true, we are not able to see the output. If I try to keep a false, then also we are not able to see the output. In JSX, whenever you are having a truthy value or the false value, true or false means this will not be shown in the output. So other than this true or false, we will be showing the output. Here when it is true only, then only the second one will be executed. If it is false means then the second one will not be executed. So this is one thing which you need to understand. Okay, so this is how we will be writing the footer code. So what we have did it, we are open until this one and this one. So when this is open is true, then only this will be shown, or otherwise when it is normally 22 means then this output will not be shown. So this is how we will be doing the conditional rendering in the React.js. So here we are using ampersand to execute the conditional rendering. Hope you understood about this one. So what I will try to do is I will commit this all the code in a new branch, that is video-13. So video-13 conditional rendering. Whoever may be having doubts or anything, if they want to refer the code, so they can go to my GitHub repository URL. The link is provided in the description below. For this one. So what I can say, React, right? React18 course. I will publish this branch. So this is our GitHub repository URL. Whoever may be having doubts or anything, so they can go to this particular repository URL and they can get the code. So if you have any doubts or any suggestions, please post the comments below to this video. And if you like this video, please do support me by subscribing to my channel. Thank you. In the previous video, we have learned about the footer, how to design the footer we have seen. So that is difference between 12 and 22, whether it is opened or not. Now I will try to make it as 6 or something like that. Then we will be able to see the output for this one. Here if I try to refresh this page. Yeah, now here we are able to see we are open until 22 like this. So fine. So now we have used this conditional operator ampersand. Let's try to use the same thing here in our pizza also. Now this video we will try to see the different types of conditional operators or conditional rendering available in the React.js. We'll try to see. So this is all entirely our code, right? Now what I will try to do is, let's say that we are looping over not this one. So here I will remove this one all for the time being. Yeah. Now we are looping over all the pizza data. Let's say that I will be having in such a way that here constant pizzas I am storing in one variable pizza data. So this is our pizza. Now this one is the pizzas. I will loop over these pizzas here. Okay. So for some reason what I will try to do is I will keep these pizzas as an empty array. Okay. So empty array not for some reason. For example, let's say that we don't have any pizzas. Now here we are not able to see any data. Now if you see here in our output in this one, in the elements, in the menu, in the container, in the menu, and here if you try to see in the menu, we are able to see a URL element, it is coming. but actually the UL element should not be visible. Why? Because the pizzas are not there. So here we don't want to show this UL element also. So here at least the UL element is happening. So here the map is not what I can say is not looping. Why? Because there are no pizzas available. So for this one, what I can do is I can wrap it in a JavaScript mode here. So that we know, right, we JavaScript mode, and we know about the one conditional operator, that is ampersand ampersand. So I will try to write in such a way that if pizzas is available and then only loop over. Okay, so this is the code I am trying to return. I am trying to use it. So let it save. I don't know why it is taking some time. Where is this code went? Yeah. Now if you try to see here, we have written a condition pizzas and we are trying to check the data. Now if you see here, still we are able to see an UL element. Why? Because pizza is an array, empty array. So that means some data is there inside that one. So we cannot write it like this. So what I can do here, for some reason, I can use the length property. So that means I can write something like constant num pizzas. So number of pizzas available is equal to pizzas dot length. I will use this property. Now here I will try to tell that if num pizzas, if pizzas are available, numbers are available, then we can loop over. Now if you try to see here, we are able to see there is no UL element available in this one, right? In the root, in the container, in the menu, we are able to see there is no UL element available. But we are able to see a 0 here. If you try to observe carefully, we are able to see a 0 here. So why this one is coming is, you need to understand that this, whenever you are trying to represent here ampersand ampersand, only the truthy value. So for example, let's say that if I want to implement true, then this one will not be displayed in the output. Okay, or otherwise if you display this one as a false, so this one will not be displayed in the JSX. But when you mention other than true or false, false value like 0, then 0 will be displayed. Here we are able to see that num pizzas is there. So this condition is false. So that is the reason the value needs to be written, right? The value it is returning is the 0 here. So that is the reason it is trying to display 0. So that is the reason it is displaying 0. So you need to understand that only the true and false value will not be rendered in that one. Other than that, the false value, truthy value, other than true or false boolean value, everything will be displayed. So here, what is the condition we need to write it? Here the condition we need to write it is greater than 0. Okay, so we need to implement greater than 0. Now if it is greater than 0 means now you will be not able to see any UL element also. If you see it here also, you will not able to see any UL element in the root, in the container, and in the menu. So we are not able to see any UL element. So this is how we need to use the conditional operator. So now there is also another type of conditional operator available in the React.js, that is a ternary operator. All the people will say that using this one, we will be not using this one more often in the React.js. Ternary operator is the best one. Here you can use the ternary operator also. If you are having a multiple thing, if else case, something like that, then we need to use the ternary operator. For example, let's say that I am using the ternary operator. Here in the same scenario, if I want to use the ternary operator means, then you need to write a question mark here. If num pizzas is greater than 0, then only display this one. And here you need to write an else condition. So colon null. So like this you need to mention it. So this is how we will be writing the ternary operator. And the same situation if you want to write it here also, if is open is there, then you need to write it like this. If is open is not there means, then you can write it in a such a way that so here you can write we are closed. We can write it like this. So now we have added the another condition also. For example, let's say that if it is 12 means, so then here you will be able to see a message something like we are closed. And here let's remove this one. So I will try to remove and I will try to add it. Okay, now if you try to see here, we are able to see the pizzas and we are able to see we are closed. So like this, if you are having an if else condition like this means, it's better to use the ternary operator. So this is one way which we will be using the ternary operators. And there is also another way, something like what I can say is, so if you are having some piece of code, okay, so you can also write an if block, or what I can say is if block, you can also return multiple values. So if you want to write an if else condition, something like that means we can use the multiple also. For example, let's say that we are having if it is true like this, right? So now I can write it here. If it is not is open, if it is not open means, then what I can do here, I can return, you can add a curly braces, I can return this p is closed. Okay, I can add this p is closed. So now here you will be able to see the out p is closed, and here I will use the semicolon. And what is this happen? Yeah, here we are using this this one, right? And I can remove this one, and null, I will use the null. Now here we are able to see we are closed. So how we are able to get this we are closed? It is coming from this one. So you can also use the if operator, but we need to return an expression. We need to return a value for this one. And here, for example, the problem is, let's say that we are having a footer. Footer name is equal to, sorry, class name is equal to footer. And here I can close this one like this. So now when you don't use this one, when you don't use this if operator, okay, and if you want to use this p closed in this ternary operator, then also it will work, not a problem. So now it is closed, right? So now it will be something like closed. Okay, so here you need to use the, so we are writing a JavaScript expression, so here we need to write it using like this. Okay, so let's try to implement this one. Sorry, yeah. So now let's try to, yeah, here now we have implemented. So now you need to understand, so whenever you are writing code or JavaScript mode means you need to open it with a single brace. So now here I have written is open. Now when it is open, and I am showing this one, when it is not closed, when it is closed we are showing it like this. Now if you try to see here, we are closed, so it is wrapped with a footer. And if it is something like open means, so then if it is open means, then also it will be wrapped with a footer only. So if you try to see here, this order and all those things, it is wrapped with a footer, right? So still it is wrapped with a footer. But if I try to use this concept, and if I made it as a 12, so now if you try to see here, now you will be able to see we are closed here, and this one will not be wrapped with a footer. So you will be having only directly like this. So this is one situation which you will be missing. So you need to understand depending on the scenario, so which one I need to use. So here you can write the footer as a common to both the scenarios, whereas here we cannot write it. And here you need to recopy again, and you need to paste it there in order to get this situation. If you are having lots of code means, then you need to copy it again, and you need to paste it here. So this is the problem which we will be getting if you use the if operator. But here you can use, you can return multiple values, but here you need to make sure that only one return will be executed at any situation. So this is one scenario which you will be coming across more often. So here at least one return will be executed all the time. And here also, if you want to use this one, for example, let's say that I am having here sold out, right? Sold out true is there. So when any pizza is sold out, I don't want to show this pizza. So for example, let's say that which one is pizza salamino is sold out. So this one is a sold out. I don't want to show this one. So for this reason, what I can do is, here we are looping over each pizza, right? Num pizzas, and we are greater than 0, we are looping over each pizzas, right? In this one, what I can do is, here I can write a situation in such a way that if props dot pizza object dot sold out is there means, then if it is sold out is there means, I would return a null. So that means I don't want to execute anything. So here now if you try to see, pizza salamino is removed. So like this. So depending on the situations or depending on the requirement, so we need to use if condition or ternary operator or ampersand. So this is how we will be using the ternary operator or ampersand, these all things. So this is how we will be using it. So now I think you have a clear understanding about the conditional rendering in the React.js. So we have used the conditional rendering with ampersand with ternary operators, and also with multiple returns also I have shown you. Hope you understood about this one. What I will try to do is, I will commit this all code in a new branch, that is video-14. Whoever may be having doubts or anything, so they can refer to this code. And this one is nothing but conditional rendering, right? Conditional rendering. I will commit this code, and whoever may be having a doubts or anything, So you will be having a doubt or anything, right? So you can go to my what I can say, what is happening here, yeah. So you can go to my repository thing. So for any code, if you want to refer this code, whatever the thing I am trying to tell you, so you can refer this in the GitHub URL. The link is provided in the description below, so you can refer it. So whatever the video you are trying to batch, so you can go to that particular branch and you can view the code whatever I am trying to tell in that video. If you have any doubts or any suggestions, please post the comments below to this video. And if you like this video, please do support me by subscribing to my channel. Thank you. In the previous video, we have learned about the footer, how to design the footer we have seen. So that is difference between 12 and 22, whether it is opened or not. Now I will try to make it as 6 or something like that. Then we will be able to see the output for this one. Here if I try to refresh this page. Yeah, now here we are able to see we are open until 22 like this. So fine. So now we have used this conditional operator ampersand. Let's try to use the same thing here in our pizza also. Now this video we will try to see the different types of conditional operators or conditional rendering available in the React.js. We'll try to see. So this is all entirely our code, right? Now what I will try to do is, let's say that we are looping over not this one. So here I will remove this one all for the time being. Yeah. Now we are looping over all the pizza data. Let's say that I will be having in such a way that here constant pizzas I am storing in one variable pizza data. So this is our pizza. Now this one is the pizzas. I will loop over these pizzas here. Okay. So for some reason what I will try to do is I will keep these pizzas as an empty array. Okay, so empty array not for some reason. For example, let's say that we don't have any pizzas. Now here we are not able to see any data. Now if you see here in our output in this one, in the elements, in the menu, in the container, in the menu, and here if you try to see in the menu, we are able to see an UL element, it is coming. But actually the UL element should not be visible. Why? Because the pizzas are not there. So here we don't want to show this UL element also. So here at least the UL element is happening. So here the map is not what I can say is not looping. Why? Because there are no pizzas available. So for this one what I can do is I can wrap it in a JavaScript mode here. So we know, right, we JavaScript mode, and we know about the one conditional operator, that is ampersand. So I will try to write in such a way that if pizzas is available and then only loop over. Okay, so this is the code I am trying to return. I am trying to use it. So let it save. I don't know why it is taking some time. Where is this code went? Yeah. Now if you try to see here, we have written a condition pizzas and we are trying to check the data. Now if you see here, still we are able to see an UL element. Why? Because pizza is an array, empty array. So that means some data is there inside that one. So we cannot write it like this. So what I can do here, for some reason, I can use the length property. So that means I can write something like constant num pizzas. So number of pizzas available is equal to pizzas dot length. I will use this property. Now here I will try to tell that if num pizzas, if pizzas are available, numbers are available, then we can loop over. Now if you try to see here, we are able to see there is no UL element available in this one, right? In the root, in the container, in the menu, we are able to see there is no UL element available, but we are able to see a 0 here. If you try to observe carefully, we are able to see a 0 here. So why this one is coming is, you need to understand that this, whenever you are trying to represent here ampersand, only the truthy value. So for example, let's say that if I want to implement true, then this one will not be displayed in the output. Okay, or otherwise if you display this one as a false, so this one will not be displayed in the JSX. But when you mention other than true or false, falsy value like 0, then 0 will be displayed. Here we are able to see that num pizzas is there. So this condition is false. So that is the reason the value needs to be written, right? The value it is returning is the 0 here. So that is the reason it is trying to display 0. So that is the reason it is displaying 0. So you need to understand that only the true and false value will not be rendered in that one. Other than that, the falsy value, truthy value, other than true or false boolean value, everything will be displayed. So here what is the condition we need to write it? Here the condition we need to write it is greater than 0. Okay, so we need to implement greater than 0. Now if it is greater than 0 means now you will be not able to see any UL element also. If you see it here also, you will not able to see any UL element in the root, in the container and in the menu. So we are not able to see any UL element. So this is how we need to use the conditional operator. So now there is also another type of conditional operator available in the React.js, that is a ternary operator. All the people will say that using this one, we will be not using this one more often in the React.js. Ternary operator is the best one. You can use the ternary operator also. If you are having a multiple thing, if else case, something like that, then we need to use the ternary operator. For example, let's say that I am using the ternary operator. Here in the same scenario, if I want to use the ternary operator means, then you need to write a question mark here. If num pizzas is greater than 0, then only display this one. And here you need to write an else condition. So colon null. So like this you need to mention it. So this is how we will be writing the ternary operator. And the same situation if you want to write it here also, if is open is there, then you need to write it like this. If is open is not there means, then you can write it in a such a way that so here you can write we are closed. We can write it like this. So now we have added the another condition also. For example, let's say that if it is 12 means, so then here you will be able to see a message something like we are closed. And here let's remove this one. So I will try to remove and I will try to add it. Okay, now if you try to see here, we are able to see the pizzas and we are able to see we are closed. So like this, if you are having an if else condition like this means, it's better to use the ternary operator. So this is one way which we will be using the ternary operators. And there is also another way, something like what I can say is, so if you are having some piece of code, okay, so you can also write an if block, or what I can say is if block, you can also return multiple values. So if you want to write an if else condition, something like that means, we can use the multiple also. For example, let's say that we are having if it is true like this, right? So now I can write it here. If it is not is open, if it is not open means, then what I can do here, I can return, you can add a curly braces, I can return this p is closed. Okay, I can add this p is closed. So now here you will be able to see the out p is closed, and here I will use the semicolon. And what is this happen? Yeah, here we are using this this one, right? And I can remove this one and null. I will use the null. Now here we are able to see we are closed. So how we are able to get this we are closed? It is coming from this one. So you can also use the if operator, but we need to return expression. You need to return a value for this one. And here, for example, the problem is, let's say that we are having a footer. Footer name is equal to, sorry, class name is equal to footer. And here I can close this one like this. So now when you don't use this one, when you don't use this if operator, okay, and if you want to use this p closed in this ternary operator, then also it will work, not a problem. So now it is closed, right? So now it will be something like closed. Okay, so here you need to use the, so we are writing a JavaScript expression, so here we need to write it using like this. Okay, so let's try to implement this one. Sorry, yeah. So now let's try to, yeah, here now we have implemented. So now you need to understand, so whenever you are writing code or JavaScript mode means, you need to go open it with a single brace. So now here I have written is open. Now when it is open, and I am showing this one, when it is not closed, when it is closed, we are showing it like this. Now if you try to see here, we are closed, so it is wrapped with a footer. And if it is something like open means, so then if it is open means, then also it will be wrapped with a footer only. So if you try to see here, this order and all those things, it is wrapped with a footer, right? So still it is wrapped with a footer. But if I try to use this concept, and if I made it as a 12, so now if you try to see here, now we will be able to see we are closed here, and this one will not be wrapped with a footer. So you will be having only directly like this. So this is one situation which you will be missing. So you need to understand depending on the scenario. So which one I need to use. So here you can write the footer as a common to both the scenarios, whereas here we cannot write it. And here you need to copy, recopy again, and you need to paste it there in order to get this situation. If you are having lots of code means, then you need to copy it again and you need to paste it here. So this is the problem which we will be getting if you use the if operator. But here you can return multiple values, but here you need to make sure that only one return will be executed at any situation. So this is one scenario which you will be coming across more often. So here at least one return will be executed all the time. And here also, if you want to use this one, for example, let's say that I am having here sold out, right? Sold out true is there. So when any pizza is sold out, I don't want to show this pizza. So for example, let's say that which one is pizza salamino is sold out. So this one is a sold out. I don't want to show this one. So for this reason, what I can do is, here we are looping over each pizza, right? Num pizzas, and we are greater than 0. We are looping over each pizzas, right? In this one, what I can do is, here I can write a situation in such a way that if props dot pizza object dot sold out is there means, then if it is sold out is there means, I would return a null. So that means I don't want to execute anything. So here now if you try to see, pizza salamino is removed. So like this. So depending on the situations or depending on the requirement, so we need to use if condition or ternary operator or ampersand. So this is how we will be using the ternary operator or ampersand, these all things. So this is how we will be using it. So now I think you have a clear understanding about the conditional rendering in the React.js. So we have used the conditional rendering with ampersand with ternary operators, and also with multiple returns also I have shown you. Hope you understood about this one. What I will try to do is, I will commit this all code in a new branch, that is video-14. Whoever may be having doubts or anything, so they can refer to this code. And this one is nothing but conditional rendering, right? Conditional rendering. So here we will try to see about the React fragment in this video. So React fragment, where we can use this one is exactly, for example, let's say that here we are having some data, right? I will try to add the code here. Okay, please select the pizza. Please select the pizza from the list. This is the text I am trying to add it. So here if you try to see, here we are able to see this one, right? So please select the pizza from the list. So this is the paragraph element which I am trying to give. Now let's add some CSS to this one. So for this one, what I will do is, in the menu greater than P, so which directly belongs to the greater than P. Now I want to apply some CSS to this one. I will increase the font size to 1.5 rem, and I will give text align center, and line height I can give something like 1.6, and the last one is width is of 80%. That's it. So we are able to see this one. Please select the pizza from the list. Now here actually the problem comes. Where actually the problem comes is, now when the pizzas are empty, okay, when there are no pizzas, then what could be the output here? So all the pizzas will be gone, but here we are still showing the message that please select the pizza from the list. This should not be there, right? The text doesn't make any sense. So we need to remove the text also when there are no pizzas available. So for that reason, what I can do is, so we need to add this text inside the condition, that is nothing but num pizzas greater than 0. When the pizzas are there means, then only we need to show this text. So we can add here in this one. But immediately the React.js or the JSX is shouting on us that adjacent JSX elements must be wrapped in an enclosing tag. So that means, so you cannot return two elements at a time. So you need to return only one parent element or one root element. So what can we do? So for overcoming this type of issue, what we have did is, so we have wrapped this one inside a div. Now this works fine, right? This works fine. Now let's try to see the output for this one. So if you try to see the output, now here the entire design has gone. Why? Because Actually, if you try to see the inspect element for this one, we don't want to, we don't expect this type of behavior. Why? Because so here in this menu we have an h2, so there should be no parent element in the div here. The p should be a direct child element to the menu, not for the div element. So we don't want this extra div element wrapped inside this one. So how can we overcome this one? How can we overcome this type of problem? So luckily we have a concept in the React.js, that is React fragment. So what can we do is we can wrap it with an empty here. Okay, so there is no need for us to give like this. So we can wrap it with an empty like this. Now if you see here, the same output we are able to get it the previous one, but if you try to see here in our menu, the paragraph element is direct child to the parent. So that is the reason we have written the CSS like this, menu greater than p. Greater than p means it should be a direct children to the menu. Now here, so we have seen this one. So if you want to know more about the selectors and all those things, I have already did the videos on the selector CSS selectors. You can go and check in my CSS playlist. Now the index.js thing, so we have seen this one directly by using this React fragment. So this is a shorthand notation. We can implement this one. Now another thing what I want to tell you is, for example, let's say that when you want to use the same React fragment in a looping, like a pizza.map we are doing it, right? So whenever you want to have an two adjacent elements like this means, then we need to use react.fragment. Okay, so this is a full hand version and that one is a shorthand version which we are trying to use it. And here we will be using react.fragment, and you can apply the key here when you are looping. So right now we don't have any key or something like that, so we can remove this like this, and we can use the shorthand notation, this one. So this is how the React fragment will be very useful for us in order to not to have an adjacent parent element or something like that. So now we have finished this one. Now the next concept what we will try to do is, for example, let's say that we will apply a sold out thing. So now we are not showing the sold out, right? So now we need to show the sold out thing. For example, let's say that we are having a pizza, right? So I will remove this, what I can say is that condition. Now the sold out pizza also we will be able to see. So this is a sold out pizza actually. I need to show that sold out pizza. So here we are having the price, right? So here I can write something like pizza object dot sold out. If it is there means then I need to, I need to show that it is a sold out. Okay, I will show it in a like this, or otherwise you can show the price. So I have added conditional like this. So now if you try to see here, we are able to see a sold out. Now I need to differentiate this one with the remaining pizzas. So sold out pizza, I need to differentiate this pizza. How can I do this one is in the index.css. Let's try to add CSS. So dot pizza dot sold out. Okay, sold out. So pizza which is having a sold out, not cold out, sold out. I will apply a color of hash 888. Okay, and the image also we will try to change it dot pizza, or otherwise let's see. So now whenever you apply for a pizza the sold out class, then if you try to see here, so everything, the color has changed. So we will try to change the color of this image also. We can change the color of this image also using the CSS. So now here the pizza which is having a sold out, and inside that one image I want to apply a filter, filter grayscale. For the image I want to apply grayscale, and I will apply opacity of 0.8. okay, and here we need to add a semicolon. Yeah, so now for the image also we are able to see a grayscale. Now for every pizza I don't want to apply this type of design. So only the pizza which has a sold out I need to apply design. So that means I need to apply this class conditionally. So how can I apply this class conditionally? So I will try to show you how we can apply this one conditionally in the React.js. So here I am entering into a JavaScript mode. Why? Because I need to add a condition. The class should be added conditionally. So that is the reason I am entering into a JavaScript mode. And here I am using a template literal. So the first one we need to apply the class is the pizza. And here again I am writing like this. So this is a JavaScript notation only. And inside this one we can write the JavaScript code for in the template literal. So now if you are having a pizza object dot sold out, if it is there means, then I need to apply a class that is nothing but sold out. Okay, or otherwise I don't want to apply anything. That's it. So now this is the way we will be applying a conditional. Now here you will be able to see that a sold out class has been applied to the sold out pizza. Now if you try to see here in this one inspect element, if you observe carefully, what will happen is, so here a pizza sold out class has been applied to this only this pizza, and remaining all pizzas empty space has been applied. That is not a matter, so we can ignore that one. So this empty space is coming, so there is no need to worry about this one. So now we have successfully applied this sold out class to a particular pizza which has a price sold out. So now we are able to apply this one. So this is how we will be applying the classes conditionally in the pizza. And also we have seen about the React fragment also. The two concepts we have seen in our app. So now our app looks somewhat fine, right? Now we have learned something about the React thing. Instead of learning the concepts and all the things, directly we are learning the project in the app itself. Hope you understood about this one. I will try to commit this all the code in video-16. Create new branch, video-16. Now I will commit this all the code. So what we have learned, React fragment. So the main concept we have learned is the React fragment. I am committing this code. Now I am publishing this branch. So whoever may be having a doubts or anything, so you can go to my React course. So that is the GitHub repo link is provided in the description below of every video. Whatever the video you are trying to watch, you can go to that particular video branch and you can refer the code which I am trying to explain it. If you are finding any difficulty, if you are stuck in somewhere means, so you can refer to my code which I am trying to explain it. So hope you understood about this React fragment and also the applying classes conditionally. If you have any doubts or any suggestions, please post the comments below to this video. And if you like this video, please do support me by subscribing to my channel. Thank you.